I will mention just very briefly the project life cycle and the product life cycle. The project life cycle, the idea is with projects, they usually go through a series of steps. We define our requirements, we determine if they're feasible, then we plan, we design, we construct, we test, and we turn it over to the customer. Okay, that's the life cycle of a project. We go through those steps. But different products may have different elements. So when we talk, and I'll tell you, this is something that's kind of changed throughout the years, because they used to say that the project life cycle, they used to say that the project life cycle followed with the process groups of the project, and now they've kind of changed this. So if you've studied project management in the past for the PMP exam, they haven't been profoundly consistent with it. That's why we buy the upgrade, right? Because they change their particular input. So when we talk about life cycles of projects, they can be predictive. Many of us work on the same types of projects over and over and over. If you manage software development, you generally have come to the point where you find that's pretty predictable. You know the elements that are going to be required. Iterative life cycles, often you have feedback loops where you perform an activity, it's evaluated, then we go back in, sort of that idea of the revolving door. And then adaptive, these you can think of, there's our Scrum reference. When we talk about adaptive, we're talking about life cycles that can respond quickly to changes. And that's really one of the big advantages of Agile project management, is that as requirements change, we can quickly adapt. Okay. Phase gates are when we move from one phase to the next. So if I'm developing a manual, phase 1 might be research, phase 2 might be create a rough draft, page 3 might be proofread. So at the end of each of those phases, I'm going to have something called a milestone. Milestones are usually phase gates. They're a marker that says, I'm done with this phase. So, editing complete. At that point in time, we move from the edit phase into the next. And we create a milestone, which we'll talk about a lot next class. And a milestone says we're moving from here to there. Okay. All right, I think that's a great place to stop for the day. Talk about the product life cycle. Products also have life cycles on their own, where we develop our products, we develop them, introduce them, and so on. What I want to do is go ahead and wrap things up for the day, and when we come back, and we'll be back on Wednesday, and our Wednesday course, we're going to continue on with Chapter 1. We're going to start talking about a project management office, different types of PMOs, and then the big thing that we're going to get into as I click, the big pieces we're going to get to in lesson 2 is going to be understanding the project management framework. And man, this is the heart and soul of the PMBOK. Understanding what your processes are, understanding the knowledge areas and the process groups, and that's really the stuff that makes up the exam. So when we come back, we're going to start on the PMO, and we will definitely get into the project management framework. I'm so pleased you guys chose to spend your afternoon with me. I hope that this is informative. I hope that it's helpful, and I really look forward to seeing you same time, 3 o'clock on Wednesday. Please come back and visit me. And yes, these classes are archived, so if anybody has to miss a class, they can come back. You can come back and review the archive. So really pretty cool. Laura, programs are a collection of projects that benefit as being managed together. I think they may reference the term program, but nothing about program management on the exam. And that becomes tricky because so much in the government they talk about program management when they're really doing project management.